Welcome to Addicted to Real Estate TV. On today's episode, we're going to talk about buying property in trust. How to keep your privates private. Stick around. I've got some invaluable information for you.
To say you gotta know somebody, or know somebody to get somewhere these days. To say you know that's alright, yeah that's alright. Cause you know that's alright with me. Yeah, you know that's alright, yeah that's alright. Cause you know that's
Hi, I'm Phil Falcone, your host of Addicted to Real Estate TV. Today's episode was sponsored by Addicted to Real Estate Agency. If you had never heard of Addicted to Real Estate Agency, you better check them out. They've got awesome agents, primarily because they're addicted to real estate. Okay, so today we're going to talk about buying property in trust and how to keep your privates private. It's very, very important, okay? For those of you who don't know me, I'm Phil Falcone. I'm the author of the book, Addicted to Real Estate, okay? Why I can't stop and why you should start. Start what? You should start buying some real estate, okay? So, why would you want to buy property in trust, all right? That's really important, okay? What will a trust do for you? That's the question you should be asking yourself. So let's get right into it, all right? First thing it gives you is it gives you anonymity, all right? Nobody's going to know what you own, all right? When you buy property in your name, anybody can just look up on the MLS, okay? If you're a realtor or even if you know a realtor, all they have to do is put your name in there, Phil Falcone, type it in, and every property that you own pops up. Guess what? Every property you've ever owned pops up. Now, if somebody knew what all your real estate was approximately worth, and somebody could go on public records and easily find out how much you owe on those properties, guess what? I could do a pretty quick, rough estimate of what your net worth is in just a few minutes. Now, that's a scary thing. You know what that does? That exposes you to people who want to come after you, okay? People who might want to sue a real estate owner or anything like that. You're exposing yourself when you buy things in your name. You never want to do that. When you buy things in a trust, you don't have that problem. You generate a trust for each individual deal that you do, okay? And people will not be able to find out who is the beneficiary of that trust, okay? And that's going to be you. All right. Another huge thing it does for you is tax reporting, all right? For people who own LLCs, for example, what are you going to do? You're going to create an LLC for every property you own? That means you're going to have to file a tax return for every single property that you own. That's going to be extremely expensive. With a trust, you generate a trust for every property you own, but the beneficiary is the owner of the property, and the beneficiary could be an LLC, or it could be another trust, or it could be whatever you want it to be, a corporation, or your name. But at that point, it's hidden from the public view about who actually owns the property, and that entity is the one who files the tax return. So you're protecting yourself, okay, from any various individuals out there who want to find out what you own, who you are, and everything about you, okay? Another great thing it does is it helps you avoid probate, okay? You will avoid probate because your assets will transfer according to the instructions of the trust upon your death, all right? So you can directly have them go right to your heirs, all right? Let's talk about shysters. How many shysters are walking down the street and they want to have a slip and fall episode, and then they want to go to an attorney and they want to say, oh, I fell in front of 123 Oak Lane. Well, the attorney's going to go right on and he's going to find out who owns that property. And if you're Mr. Phil Falcone and you own 100 properties, well, he's immediately going to file a lawsuit against you because he knows there's lots of meat to go after there. But if he finds out that the property is in the name of Oak Lane Trust, guess what? He's not coming after you, and he's not even going to take that case without getting a large retainer. So if it's a frivolous lawsuit, the person's not going to give him the retainer and it's not going to happen. All right, let's keep moving. Another thing that trusts do for you that's so important is one trust for one deal. Okay, now I've already briefly mentioned that, but let me tell you why. Okay, let's just suppose that you have a deal and it has problems with it. Okay, the only thing that could potentially go wrong, that you could potentially lose with that particular investment, is the property that trust owns, and only that property, okay? So you're only risking one property, as opposed to when you go to a bank and you sign mortgage documents, you're basically personally signing for everything. They can come after anything you own. Now, I'm not willing, after 25 years of real estate investing business, I'm going to risk my entire portfolio over any one particular deal. So it's critical to use trust, absolutely critical, okay? Let me tell you a quick story. Before I knew about trust, okay, I would sign for things with my name, and I'd sign personally for every loan. And I've put myself, at great danger doing that. I've exposed myself to the banks to come after me, okay? And one of the things that happened to me from earlier on in my career is now when I go to a bank to get a loan, a lot of times the first thing they do is they pull up all those personal loans that I got in my name that I still own, all right? And it's dogging me to this day, all right? I wish I never bought those properties that way. I wish I bought them in trust, okay? This is what our trust product does for you, okay? It teaches you all the ins and outs of what's involved with a trust, okay? It shows you how to form a trust. Jeremy, give me that trust package. Here's our trust package, okay? It shows you how to form the trust. It gives you easy to understand videos. I think there's like over 5 hours of videos on here. Easy to understand and explain everything you're going to need to know. When you're done watching this, you're going to have the confidence to use a trust on every deal that you buy. Most importantly, I'm going to give you the paperwork. So not only can you generate your first trust, but you'll be able to generate every trust you're going to need, okay, for the rest of your life, all right? All you have to do to get this trust product, to get the paperwork, to get the link, to learn how to form it, to learn the ins and outs, to get the confidence to do this for yourself, $397. Are you kidding me? $397, that's nothing for this kind of information, all right? All you have to do is click on the link below. It'll take you right to a page where you can learn more about it and buy the product if you're interested. Everything you get from Addicted to Real Estate comes with a money-back guarantee. And let me just tell you something, my friends, before I get off this video. I make hundreds of videos. I have hundreds of meetings. I'm constantly talking to people about everything that's important in this business. And all of the information I put out there, it's important. But what I'm talking to you about today, using trust to buy real estate, is one of the most critical, important pieces of information that I could ever share with you. If you don't listen to anything I say on all the products I put out there and all the videos that I make, you listen to this one. Go to this link and learn more about using trust to buy real estate. I'm Phil Falcone from Addicted to Real Estate, and thanks for watching this message.